Hi, Mr. Sturck. How are you? Thanks for letting me have a look at your property. And yeah, it looks pretty good. I just realized that the front yard is looking very, very nice, which again adds a lot of appeal. And I would say increases the value of the property over time, having a well-maintained front yards. And I just realized I've seen a couple of new builds around, and most of them are actually new, decent-sized suburban houses, which I think are basically occupied by families, which actually makes it again a nicer suburban feel to the area, which adds a lot of appeal for bigger families when they're moving into state. The tile 4 actually works very well with the aesthetic of your house, and actually absolutely love the windows showcasing your complete backyard, which again, as I mentioned about the front yard, looks very, very well maintained. Let's take a walk towards the kitchen and just have a look how it's looking. Wow, that is a very decent sized kitchen with plenty of bench tops and big amount of space. That actually adds a lot to the appeal, as most of the new homeowners or families bring basically most of their appliances, and they always love the fact that there's enough room in every house, or like the new house they're going into. So yeah, and that's a fridge and the dishwasher you're talking about, leading with the chattels. So as I told you earlier, I'll explain what chattels is. Chattels are the products which you can physically take away. They're not fixed or screwed to the property, but as you mentioned earlier, we'll have to add it in the contract under the thing of chattels. And yeah, so I basically know what they're getting with the property. The rooms are actually very spacious when I'm walking away, and I'm very pleased on how well maintained the house is. But in saying that, we may need to clean up just the rooms a little bit, and even like clear up the walkway a bit as well. Again, these are small things and pieces that actually helps add appeal to your house, and as we sit down we'll discuss about it more, and I'll go through some of those minor things that we can look forward to. So just as I said, overall we need to make sure that the buyers will love the house when they come, and again, those are small bits and pieces that we'll discuss when I have a sleep with you. So Mr. Sirk, how long have you lived here?
Around 29 years. Both my kids grew up here.
Oh, that's good, that's good. And what kind of renovations you have done recently to the property?
Okay, so we got the kitchen and the living room repainted 7 months ago, and it needed a new coat, and we wanted to freshen up it.
Yes, I did observe the color palette chosen for the walls of the living room, the kitchen, and they actually work in sync very well. And I would say it actually adds a more appeal to the property.
Thanks a lot for that, Dawal. I personally chose the colors for the wall after going through a lot of choice, and yeah, I wanted the colors to coordinate with the rest of the furniture and tiling.
That's good, that's good. And what are we thinking moving forward?
To be honest, we have been thinking about the downsizing for a bit now. With our age and the amount of work which goes in maintaining to the property, it takes a lot out of us, and even our kids have moved out. So I think our property might suit a young growing family.
And is there a time frame we are working with? Is there a certain amount of time we are thinking?
At this stage, I would consider to get it done within 2 months.
All right, that's right. That's pretty good. And what would be a price estimate for your property? And what were your expectations with your property?
So I have conducted some research online in regards to our suburb and the average upload sizing. I would estimate it anywhere from around 700,000 to 750. Me and my husband are expecting somewhere around 750,000.
I would say good work on research, and yeah, your numbers are not that far, but once I've conducted a bit more research, we'll be able to say what is your property actually worth and what kind of price we're looking into.
Okay, so yeah, I'm very keen and need a better idea of things moving forward. This is the first time we are selling a property, and we are still very still new to the process. Can you give us a recommendations in regards to what other things we should do to the property?
Road नीचे करना It is a very interesting question. There are a few things that I would suggest, and due to the how, just as you can do to the house to increase the appeal for the property to the potential buyers, and it will actually overall help increase the value of the property. We observe that the rooms and the walkways are actually in a different color theme to the kitchen and the living space. As you mentioned, you actually got them painted recently. If we are somehow able to basically have a matching scheme throughout the house, it will help increase the flow and the appeal for the property. Backyard, mowing the garden properly, and basically clearing a lot of the older furniture and things in the back room actually would help increase the backyard look bigger. And the third thing I would do is basically cleaning up the walkways and room a bit more. Basically, we might need to reshine the tiles and basically use a proper cleaning agent to just make the property or make the walkway and the rooms look a bit more neater. And obviously, again, as I said, it would help increase the appeal of the property while doing these small things, which, as I said, would add up to the total value of the property.
Great, thanks a lot, Dhaval.
Yeah, we have actually conducted a comparative market analysis for your house, for your property, which basically means analysis of your property on the basis of recent sales in your suburbs and the current listings which are similar to your house in size in the suburb, and basically how many days it might take to sell your property, just an average analysis of all those three things. A couple of streets further, 6 Majory Street, Springshore, which had a similar plot size, was listed around $730,000 2 weeks ago with us, and we were able to actually sell it for $755,000 within 12 days. One more property on the street behind your house, 16 Midland Street, which, as I said, again, similar property to yours, same amount of bedrooms. We were able to sell that, say 13 days. We were listing on $690,000 and we got the price up to $750,000. The last property that I would basically say would be the one that you have noticed yourself, which is just across from your house. We were actually able to get $80,000 more than the listing price of $720,000. These are all the properties in which basically I personally have done work, and we have just gone through and suggested some of the cosmetic improvements the same way I'm suggesting you, and again they've got the results for us. And with the current market valuation, it will be fair to say that we might put your property in around $745,000, and we'll make sure that we achieve that price or more than that with the help of these small cosmetic changes and again our marketing and work.
Okay, that's very promising to hear. Thanks a lot, Dhaval. I had some queries on how we will sell our property.
So there are a few ways that we can sell your property. I'll just explain you all three. The first way that you can sell your property is with auction. In this method, basically, we market the property and basically we have set an auction date in 30 days, and then we conduct an auction outside your property or any other place, and basically just buyers competing each other's putting bid, and yeah, achieve a good price that way. Get that right. The second way of sale is a private treaty sale, where we advertise the property with a specific amount, and again we get counter offers from buyers. While negotiating, we try and achieve the best price for a property. And the third way of selling the property is to the tender sales, in which we basically give advise the property and give like around 30 days to all the potential buyers to put in a tender, and after that certain amount of period we open all the tenders, and the best offer that the seller think is basically the new buyer for the property. And basically, so from all the top three methods that I've mentioned you, like explained you, the best way to sell your property would be through basically private treaty, considering the market situation and the time frame you're working with. I think that way will help us attract a lot of people and deliver quite a good result.
Thanks for explaining me everything, Dhaval. It clears a lot of things. But how do you think we would be able to market our property?
So we would basically use a mix of the traditional and modern marketing methods together. The first thing would be mailing newsletters and providing brochures to every attendees for the open house that we will conduct. We will discuss the open house timings once we have reached that. Erecting a signboard outside your house and getting your property basically professionally photographed and putting the listing with those professional photographs at the major property rentals like realestate.com and Domain, and even uploading them on our agency website would basically cover all styles of traditional and modern marketing combined, and would actually help us cover all the target markets that we are looking at, and again would attract a lot of inquiries that way. We just need to make sure that you understand how important open house are in the process of selling your property. A few small things that we need to make sure in the open house is we need to turn off all the lights, aircon, open all the blinds. Second thing, need to make sure that there's no water on the floor on the property, or toys lying around that would create a hazard of tripping. The third thing I would say is all your personal belongings like personal pictures and photographs and more expensive things would be hidden away, but don't worry, I will be there while open houses and make sure everything is done properly.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for explaining on how the property should be presented during the open homes. Dhaval, can we discuss about the commission and the marketing fees that your agencies will charge?
Yeah, sure. Our fees is 3.3%, which is including the GST, and we basically work from getting the listing to the settlement. Just wanted to make sure that you understand that we are from the seller's side. So every time we take a decision or we suggest something, your importance or your benefit is something that we look into. As for marketing fees, generally it's anywhere from 1 to 1.5% of the listing price, but as I said, I'll basically forward a marketing budget to you and we will go through it, and if there are some concerns or a feedback that you want to change, we can discuss and make it through.
That's good to know, Dhaval. Thanks again. Dhaval, please can you explain how would you communicate with us in regards to the inquiries and the progress of the sale?
We try and ensure a high level of communication between ourselves and the sellers. The way it works is after every open home, in a couple of hours, we give you a call letting you know the number of attendees, the feedback, and if you got any offers. I will email you a weekly report regarding all the website inquiries, and as I said, potential offers or something substantial happening. Once I actually get an offer which is near our listing price, I'll call you straight away and let you know, and then we can discuss the other steps moving forward.
That's very effective. Thanks a lot for explaining your communication plan to me. I have a few more doubts that I need help to clearing all these
Sure.
things. So first of all, what do you mean by the part 3 details of the property?
Details of the property are obtained by doing the title search, which has all the information regarding the property, basically meaning the lot numbers, the owner names, and the title reference.
And the part 4 section 2 term of appointment?
The term of appointment basically means on how long you can appoint me for sell the property at one time. The term of appointment for this time is going to be around 90 days. That's the rule. And after 90 days, we can rediscuss if you want to increase my term or if you want to give me another property to sell. But at this stage, 90 days is the term of appointment we're looking at.
What about part 6? What is the difference between an open listing and the exclusive agency?
So basically, open listing means that when you're listing with us, that you can at the same time list with another seller, or you can sell the property yourself. And when you say exclusive agency, it basically reserves the right to sell to me and only me, only the one agent that has been listed on the property form 6.
Okay. And the part 7 commission?
As I said, our commission, including with GS3, is 3.3, and we explained again earlier that we're working for you, with you, and making sure that we get the best offer price for you.
Okay, that's good. So the part 8, authorization to incur the fees, charges, and the expenses.
So basically, authority which is provided by the seller to the agent to incur expenses, charges, expenses, all the expenses in regard to the marketing of the property or any of the other cosmetic improvements or details that have been changed. The amount of money that you authorize us to spend on these kind of things. Again, as I said, it would be done in writing, and you'll basically see it on the form.
Okay. I'm really grateful for your explanation, Dhaval. I'm highly confident that you are the right person for the job. So, how do we move the forward?
So the next step for us would be to sign the form 6, which I've actually got with myself pre-filled with all your details and the listing price. Once you sign this, I'll go back to office, form seller communication plan, and email that to you as well, and with the form 6 as well. So we both have some copies. I will keep the hard copy with myself, but you will have an email copy for you. Once you've got a seller communication plan, you can call me if there's any doubts or something in regards to you didn't understand, or if you want to provide some sort of feedback. All the information or all the communication between us are going to be saved in the CRM under your name. So as I said earlier, we try and make sure all the communication is transparent and easy to understand. But yeah, leaving that concludes my lesson presentation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.